Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Lyrical Healer Show. I am your host, Lyrical Healer, and this is a weight loss special. Today, we are going to continue talking to the delightful Barbara Campbell. You still with us?
Of course I am.
Excellent. That's what we like. Now, I'm really excited to let the people know about your new company, Lazy Women's Guide, which helps people to get back into fitness. So tell us about it. What do you do?
Well, first of all, I'd like to establish that I didn't call it the Lazy Woman's Guide because I think that women are lazy. It's just that the way that I formulated the company, the way that I actually got it all together was through trying to save women time. And by that I mean I use a variety of different things to help me to lose weight or to get onto that journey, which includes using perhaps things that are out there on the market. And all I did was to research the things that are out there, the garments, the aids, anything, even the tablets that can help to block certain fats or to break down the fat in your body. I actually experimented with all of these things. And I just thought, well, there's a lot of women that don't have the time to be doing all of this or don't have the expenses to be doing all of this, because I spent a lot of money actually trying out a variety of different things. So I thought, well, I will do it for them. And that's why I called it the Lazy Woman's Guide. I actually wanted to call it the Busy Woman's Guide, but it didn't roll off the tongue, just, like the Lazy Woman Guide does.
Well, I tell you what, that name does make me feel interested, because at some points in my life, I do feel like I've been lazy, because the weight wouldn't have come on if I wasn't out there exercising, So now that you've explained that you want to help women have an easier lifestyle and an easier way to access their health and nutritional information, it totally makes sense. So can you just break down the dynamic of how you work with people one-to-one and as a mentor?
Well, I've experimented with quite a few people. I've got about 4 or 5 clients at the moment that I'm seeing through the process. What I do is I give them a form for them to fill in so that I get a fair idea of what it is that they go through, what it is they eat or like to eat, or, what their day-to-day run-ins are like, and how many times they've tried to lose weight and what they've used to lose weight. And once I've gotten that together, that gives me a fair idea as to what needs to be done. So there's certain things that they need to give up. There's things that there's no argument. You have to give these things up. And they're not things that are life-changing. They're just things that I believe that people can actually live without, like using oil to cook. You don't need to. Give up the oil, give up the butter, and also give up rice, would you believe it? Because when you cook rice, it swells in the pot, does it not?
Yes.
Well, imagine what it's doing in your stomach.
Wow. I've heard a lot about rice lately. And it's a carbohydrate, isn't it? So
that's right. But that's not even the point for me. It's the fact of the way that it processes in the stomach. It swells up and it starts to rot in the stomach. You have to look at all of those things. I changed that from rice to couscous, where you're eating a variety of different stuff like raw foods, but it's all within couscous. So there's certain things that I ask them to give up, and they get some wonderful alternatives. And then I ask them to follow a program, which means that they're very careful about what they're eating, but they're not skimping and scraping or starving, because that's not what this is about. It's about changing your lifestyle and adopting it to your lifestyle, but at the same time, you're eating quite healthily and you're actually losing weight.
Well, I have to let the people know that the services that you provide are definitely value for money. I can definitely vouch for that, because I've seen benefits in my weight loss journey where, just so people understand, I was at a point where I didn't think I could lose a pound, let alone 1 stone and 3 pounds. I became so defeated with just being where I was until I met Barbara, until Barbara took the time out to have one-to-one sessions with me, discuss what the foods it was I was eating. And not only that, the emotional sides, how am I feeling, what kind of triggers that are connected to binge eating, because that's what I was doing. I don't know about anybody else. I'm not an undereater. I'm an overeater, and I eat quite compulsively. And I would just literally gorge myself on a big packet of Walkers. You know the 99p ones, massive ones?
Yes, I do.
Right, so that's me, or I'll have a big bar of chocolate. So I'm definitely trying to say that your services are fantastic, and it's definitely worthwhile. So can we have that email address again, for people that are interested in being mentored by you?
The email address is all3mags@yahoo.co.uk. That's ALL, the number 3, MAGS@yahoo.co.uk. And can I just say, I do understand about the emotional, because I used to be what you'd call a comfort nibbler. And by that, if I was eating ice cream and cake and custard and so on, things like that, it's because I was feeling emotionally down. What I had when my best friend was alive, unfortunately she left me in 2006, was I had somebody at the end of the telephone that I could call at any time. And it was in remembering that I thought, well, that's what people who are trying to do extraordinary things like lose weight and change their lives need. And so I provided that service. So I get to know my clients. I get to know them personally. You know, I advise them what to eat, how to eat it, and when to eat it. There's certain things that they need to do, like not drink their food. They drink the water or drink any kind of drink while they're eating, because it blocks your it going right through your intestines. It blocks it going right through because you're drinking water. So it really does cause some disruption to the digestion.
Okay.
You know, or to eat fruits first and not after. So it's little things that makes a difference. And the fact that I'm there at the end of the telephone if they feel tempted. And by the time they've had a conversation with me, it's not like I'm saying anything that will put them off. But, you know, I just change their mindset and go about their business. They're off to bed.
And that's what you need in order to be successful on this journey. And now I believe you said that it's 3 months at a time that you work with a client. Is that right?
Yes, I give them a good 3 months, you know, to sort of get them used to the lifestyle change. And then they just go off and do what they do. So it's a guaranteed that I will be there for them for 3 months and work through what their issues are. I don't counsel them in the usual scientific or medical way. I just speak to them just like I'm speaking to a friend, you know, and take them out of whatever moods they're in, and try to get them to see really and truly for them now to drop off the bandwagon. You know, they're not doing themselves any favors. But then again, I don't castigate them if they do. I say it's all right to fall off. Just remember to get back up.
Yeah, get back up and go forward and live your life fit, healthy, and slimmer.
Absolutely.
Wonderful. Perfect. Now, I know a little secret, Barbara, don't I? I know a little secret that you have a lovely body garment which actually helps you to lose weight. It's really exciting. It's called Solidia, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm going to leave it to Barbara to tell you all about it.
Solidia is fantastic. It actually originates from Italy, and it's something that was used over there when their women, or men for that matter, went through any kind of cosmetic surgery, and they needed to wear something that would tighten their skin and hold them together and they don't fall apart. And then they realized that there was a beauty stroke weight loss element to it, because it drains the lymphatic glands, it tightens your skin, and it actually works your muscles. So they realized that people who are wearing this thing continually for, say, 7 or 8 days, or however many days you want to, were actually losing weight. And so they started looking into that element and making it more attractive. And they've made some wonderful garments that look like regular tights, regular clothes, regular everything that you wear, and almost doing absolutely nothing, you're actually losing weight. There's been times when I've deliberately, in my research, not done any exercise for 2 weeks, and I'm still getting slimmer just by wearing Solidia.
That is amazing. And you're an actual distributor, right?
Yes, there's only 7 women that are doing it in the UK, which is highly unusual, because at the end of the day, there's many, many things out there that purport to be doing something like that, you know, sort of like lose weight quickly and all of that, just wear this garment, whatever. But we're not trying to, the company are not trying to build up multi-level marketing or build up millionaires. They just want to have 7 people, 7 women in the UK, of which I am one, that will go out there and say to people, you just need to wear this.
Wow.
Yeah.
You are full of facts. You are amazing, positive, empowering, and, you know, I really, really have a passion to not only overcome my struggles and issues around weight, but to help other people. And I draw strength from our mentoring sessions. So I think that it's vital that you let the world know about the services that you're providing. So ladies and gentlemen, remember, if you would like to purchase a Lydia garment, you can do so by emailing Barbara Campbell directly at all3mags@yahoo.co.uk. That's ALL, the number 3, MAGS @yahoo.co.uk, and get yourself looking super sexy for 2011, baby. That's what it's all about. Now,
can I just say one thing?
Yeah.
No, there are other garments out there, and I'm not trying to sort of like detract from anything that they have, but this is not one of your drop a dress size in 10 minutes girdles. This is something that's comfortable. You can wear it, you can sleep in it, not that you want to, because quite frankly your skin does need to breathe occasionally. You know, you can bend down, you've not got rods in your back keeping you straight and poking out your breast until it looks like torpedoes, which is what happened when I tried on something else that was purporting to be helping one lose weight. It didn't work for me. It hasn't worked for anybody that I personally know, and the only people that are benefiting from that kind of garment are those that are selling it. I don't deal with the seller, I deal with the user.
Yeah.
My concern is it's not about the money, it's about bringing the service to people who really need to use it.
And I know that I don't want to go around being in, you know, a tight corset. I really don't. Now, there's a little bit more information I want to extract from you before the end of our interview, because time flies when you're having fun.
It does.
It does indeed. So firstly, can you just quickly touch on what your exercise regime is now?
I get up in the morning and I put on my soca music, feeling hot, tiny, whiny, and I dance around my living room, and I'm loving it. And then I jump onto my treadmill and I walk fast on there. I don't run on there because I don't think it's really healthy to be running inside. I'm quite scared of doing that. So I walk really fast on there for about 2 or 3 songs, and then I'll get down on the floor and I'll do quite a lot of yoga stretches, really stretching the body and toning the muscles and so on and so forth. And then I have my cool down. That is my exercise for the day. It takes about an hour, and it's just fantastic. It goes within minutes, it seems like.
And you've done that at your very heaviest to the weight that you are now, which is like...
I did that when I was over 20 stones. Anyone can do it. It doesn't matter how big you are. It's the fact that you're making an attempt. Yeah. I must say one of the reasons why I did the soca dancing indoors is because I always felt very self-conscious about going to gyms. Because even though you're there to get fat, people still look at you away as if, how could you do that to yourself? So I thought, well, I'll just do it here. But I quite like doing it here because I can do some weird and, wonderful moves and think, it's all that, and it ain't.
I thought you were supposed to get slim at a gym, not get fat.
No, very true. But like I said, when you go there as a big girl, people are still looking at you as if to say, how could you do that? But and they're not thinking, well, you're there trying to make amends for it,
Yeah.
So I'm not too bothered about it now because I've lost quite a hefty amount of weight. But like I said, I'm still on my journey, and I could wait until I finish my journey and then say to people, wow, look at me. But you know what? I want people, because I know it will take a few months. I mean, it took me years to get to this, to over 20 stones. It's going to take me more than a few weeks to lose it all. Exactly. So while I'm going through it, I'm helping other people go through it.
Very quickly, Barbara, what was your paradigm shift? Very quickly, time's running out.
It's a mindset. At the end of the day, a paradigm shift is something that happens in the mind where you just know what you know. You know you can do it, you have to do it, and guess what? You do it.
Wow. It's been awesome pleasure. Really, really inspiring. Can you give us the email again for people that would like to get to call you, contact you in terms of your services? What's your email?
Just send me an email, subject weight loss, to all3mags@yahoo.co.uk. ALL, the number 3, MAGS @yahoo.co.uk. I can work with people close by. I can work with people in other countries.
Lovely. Well, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you for coming on the Lyrical Healer Show, and I wish you the very best of luck as you continue on in this journey.
Thank you.